Hey, Queen. So it's 2025 and it's dating again, right? And maybe this year you want it to be different, or this year you want it to be your year. But maybe you're faced with the thought of like, oh, the dating mess of today, of the modern day, right? So if you want to try something different, if you want a different approach that will give you different results, if you don't like the results that you currently have, I want to talk to you about, a different way of doing things and a different energy, a different perspective. And I want to talk about comparison of doing things the way of like modern dating and, a way that empowers you to not only step into your feminine energy, date from a feminine energy instead of a masculine energy perspective, but really step into your dark feminine energy and start getting results. Okay, so let's talk about what currently happens in the modern day dating, right? Like, duh. So people call dating relationships. Kind of like you start going out with people and you start going out with the one person more often. And then you're like, as a woman, you're like, oh, I like that one. I'm really into that one. So there's you stepping into your masculine energy, like, yeah, fixating your attention into the one man. Okay. So you start dating this one man and you're calling it a relationship. Or I guess you start calling it a relationship when you guys both, you both start talking about exclusivity. And you're removing yourself from the dating market just because the one guy said, "Oh, I want you to only date me. Like, I want you to remove all your options, right?" And yeah, we're gonna talk about that thing like, oh, like drop the ones that see you as an option, right? Let's get things freaking clear here. You're just getting to know someone. They are getting to know you. Okay, so why? Just help me understand why. Please, somebody in the comments, help me understand why should you drop all your options when all you're doing is getting to know someone? Why should you stop getting to know other people? Because he asked you to? Oh, wait, you want to because you like him so much. You're so into him. So you drop all your options at the first, like, hey, just drop your options. Let's be exclusive. You've known this guy for who knows, like, I don't know, a couple of days, months, weeks. And now the reason why people want others to drop their options is to get a free pass to the free sex. You're giving him free sex, free wife benefits, and now he's nice and comfortable and cruising starts. Smooth sailing, cruising for like, I don't know, the first time where things start to get a little like, interesting is like 6 month mark. If you made it past the 2 or 3 month mark, after all, the mini honeymoon, the express honeymoon of like fucking nonstop, right? If you made it past that, And now it's like, oh, the 6 month mark. Well, like, where is it going? Like, I guess we're exclusive, but like, what now? And he starts to kind of like, you know, distance himself a little bit, maybe ever so slightly. And you start getting antsy and maybe a little bit of, um, like you guys are having a bit of tension. And then it goes away. He starts to phase out because you start to push him into kind of saying, where is this going? Because it's like, yeah, okay, so we're exclusive, but now what? Or this may happen after a year. And in the very, extreme cases, after a couple of years. And then what? So it's very few the ones that really make it into something. And then on goes the hookup cycle. This is what we call the hookup cycle. It could be a one night stand, it could be a 2 week stand, a 2 month stand, or a 2 year stand. Oh, wait, no, it's a relationship. Like, what the fuck even is that? A relationship. Like, what is that? You like giving free wife benefits and free sex to the one guy that you were fixated on? Yeah, no wonder like today relationships are a fucking mess. Because it's the era of free everything. It's the era of low standards. Let's stop it. I mean, if you want to, I mean, you can continue to do what everybody else does. And so, in case you haven't noticed, let me break it to you and save you a suspense. This channel is not for the mainstream. This channel is not for the masses. I mean, humanity needs that. The masses need it. But let's get real. The masses just want to be comfortable. And they just want to hear how it's men's fault, the other's fault. Nobody wants to hear you have power as a woman. You have power as a woman to get the treatment that you want, to be treated like a freaking queen, to be adored. And by the way, my masterclass, Adored, for the women who want more, who don't just want a relationship, it's out. And it talks about what it takes, the energy, the embodiment, the behaviors of the type of woman who evokes adoration, not after, you know, a couple days, a couple weeks, couple years, no. After a couple of decades, after a couple of lifetimes, okay? There's that, and we'll talk about the solution to the problems. Yeah, because we gotta be solution oriented to the freaking mess of today. So if relationships are a fucking mess, so if you ask me, as an intimacy coach, as a courtship for marriage coach, energetics coach, if you ask me what is a relationship is when you are with someone in a committed relationship. Committed means this man told you, not only told you that you're the love of his life, he can't see you outside of it, like he can't imagine his life without you. He didn't just tell you that. He's showing it to you with a financial and legal commitment. That's commitment. For some of us who have certain standards. For some that have, let's call it different standards, a commitment means a pinky promise. Sorry, not to me, not for the queens in this channel. Over here, we're like, yeah, no, I'm kind of in demand, so you're gonna have to take a seat just like everybody else. And let's get real. So men whom are extremely intelligent, they have always had this approach of like, they want to get to know different women, and they only commit, once they have really like assessed their options and see who they're a match with. Why wouldn't us as women do the same? And women in my country, where I was born, women of a certain social class, hey, not the women in poverty, not the women that are, in the struggle life. No, 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 no. The women that are what in Spanish we call niñas bien, which is translated to, there's no translate. I mean, literally, it means like fine girls. Okay. So fine girls that come from a good family, and a good family means, a happy family with values and principles and codes of conduct that have high stakes. Okay. And if your life is not a high stake, I don't know what is. So, women from fine families in my culture, Mexican culture, they do this where no, you don't go around like in relationships as a girlfriend. No, like you're looking at adequate candidates via courtship. So the solution to the mess of today is not giving the free sex and all that stuff, relationships, situationships. So fine girls, fine women, they allow themselves to be courted by adequate candidates. So you have your regular modern dating mess versus courtship. Over here, we're into courtship. Okay. So, of course, in the channel, I have thousands of, or not thousands, but hundreds of, free resources for you to understand kind of like the background of this and like the repercussions of not doing that. But if you were serious in 2025 of raising your standards and dating from a feminine energy standpoint where you are attracting high value men to you, magnetizing them to you effortlessly, them coming to you effortlessly. And it's funny, like occasionally you get like some men commenting that all like entitled, whatever, like, oh, who's gonna come, like, So these are the type of men, the effeminate men, I'm not gonna say feminine men, the effeminate men who, of course, don't date feminine women. They date masculine women who will do everything for them, who will make all the effort or wait 50-50 effort, right? These effeminate men, this is exactly what I teach you in my Courtship for Marriage course, Venus Incarnate. How to rule out, vet, and pre-select men so that you don't end up going with effeminate men. Like if you're a woman in your feminine energy and want to date in your feminine energy, which is your natural state, you want to learn how to rule out the effeminate men, the men that don't want to, you know, court you and pursue you, the men that want to be courted or pursued themselves or helped. These are the effeminate men who we need to get rid of ASAP because they're the bottom of the food chain. And so, sorry, you guys, no offense, but like if you don't want like to be referred to as that, maybe step into your masculine energy. Or maybe you don't want that. That's fine. But then don't bitch about it. Because that's exactly what an effeminate man, bitch and moan. What he does is bitch and moan. So anyway, if you are done with the shenanigans and, masculine way of dating and messy day of dating that has you kind of not happy, there's a way to do it from a place of power and from a place of your feminine energy. A way that empowers you to enjoy this journey, which is the best journey ever. I had a phenomenal time when I was like, you know, ready to get married and do and allow myself to be courted for marriage and all that stuff. And it went very well for me, as it goes for most of my clients, right? So if you are interested in that, check the link for the Venus Incarnate Courtship for Marriage course. Or you can always do one-on-one coaching for me, and you can email me for that. There's my email there. You have to apply to see if we're a fit. But yeah, if you're ready to change and ready for something different, something new, hit me up. And happy 2025. Let's make it count. So I'll see you on the next. Bye.